TinkerCAD tips. As most of you know that have been using TinkerCAD for quite a while, TinkerCAD gives us quite a few tools here in the workspace. For instance, if I select an object here, I can do copy, paste. Here's duplicate. I can delete the object. Here's undo and redo. If I select multiple objects, I have group here. I have alignment. Mirroring, for instance, I can take and mirror something, change it. There's also the cruise tool here. We've used that before to move things around on top of other objects. We also have the shape work plane tool, and we also have drop. That was recently added. For instance, if I lift this up off the work plane, I can simply click here to drop it back down. But did you also know that there's a whole host of other commands available on the keyboard? Now, if you're using TinkerCAD on an iPad, for instance, these keyboard commands won't be available to you, and you'll be stuck using those that are just available up here in these tools at the top of your workspace. But if you have a keyboard and you're using TinkerCAD, let's say on a PC within a browser, then there's a whole host of keyboard commands that can make your work in TinkerCAD much more efficient. Let me show you how to find those. And by the way, I'll provide the link to these in the description of this video. So if you come here to Google and simply type in TinkerCAD keyboard shortcuts, the very first thing that's going to come up is this, keyboard shortcuts for the 3D editor. Go ahead and click on that, and you'll get this. Basically, these are all of the keyboard commands in a printable format. So you have a version here that's displayed, but you can also click on these and get like a PDF version. Now, what I always do is I take this and print it on the top half of an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper so that I can fold it in the middle, and it sits underneath my keyboard as a quick reference to all these commands. Just look at all of this stuff. A lot of these keyboard commands I've mentioned in other tutorials, like F fit to view. There's the different panning or zooming in and out, Control G to group, Control Shift G to ungroup. Turning an object into a hole, you can do with an H or S to make it solid, T transparent, and the list goes on. A way to place the ruler, W for work plane. Here's helpers for when you're rotating things. There's ways to make it turn it just 45-degree increments. Uniform scaling, the cruise tool. Of course, we have copy, paste, Control D to duplicate. I use that quite a bit. And here's one that I just recently started using. Drag a copy, Alt and move shape. Let's see what that looks like. We'll come back here. I'm going to go ahead and select this cube here. I'm going to hold down the Alt key, and with my cursor and the left mouse button, I'm just simply going to drag that over. Now I have a duplicate. I can do the same thing here. Alt, move that around. Or the W for the work plane. I can click away from this, click W. I get my work plane wherever I want. It's basically the same as clicking up here and putting the work plane. So, there you have it. Keyboard shortcuts for TinkerCAD. You'll get to this page and you have a couple different options. Here's another one where you basically print the same sheet twice on the top and the bottom half of a piece of paper, and it looks like this. A lot of good keyboard commands to explore here. It'll help make your work in TinkerCAD much more efficient. As always, like, follow, and repost my videos. That really helps with the algorithm. If you have comments, you know where to drop those. Or if you have ideas for other TinkerCAD projects or tutorials that I should do, drop me a DM. Have a great weekend and happy tinkering.